we were one of the first companies in the world to get access to Microsoft's secure GPT models, and that gave us almost a couple months head start on the rest of the industry in creating enterprise Gen AI solutions. And when we couple that with Omnicom's operating platforms, data infrastructure that was really built to allow for the flexibility and various different use cases, we had the data set in hand that we could apply the models to and really get moving very, very quickly, and to be very iterative and kind of work through some of the initial learning experiences of what works, what doesn't work, how we should be thinking about creating applications using generative AI.
So you mentioned creating applications. I think people wonder, well, it's either going to take over the creative process or take over the media buying process, but it sounds like you're taking it piece by piece. What are you building and why?
So we've introduced Omni Assist, which is a virtual assistant that lives throughout the Omni experience. And we are taking it and thinking about it use case by use case. So one of the use cases might be, how do we use generative AI to actually teach our people how to use Omni better, and our clients how to use Omni better? So we put ChatGPT models on top of all of our 500 pieces of learning and development material, and then used that so people can have a chat interface instead of having to go and watch a video or attend a webinar. Now they can just ask Omni Assist to help them. And we apply that same type of experience to audience insights or influencer discovery or content development. But we recognize that each one of those things has a different use case, so you can't apply a one-size-fits-all Gen AI solution.
How do you figure out, as I understand it, the AI models are only as good as the data that feed them. Mm-hmm. How do you figure out what to use and how it's the best process to get the most out of it?
We have a rigorous kind of set of guidelines that we put all of our use cases or models through. And so to make sure we're getting the right answers back, is it doing what is expected? Are our end users going to get the results that they want? And so we have over 20 different checkpoints that we go through to make sure we're using the right data set. And sometimes we have to throw it away and say, hey, we have to structure this data differently, or we have to use a different data set because we're not getting the answers we want.
So at this point, has it changed the rank and file's day-to-day life much, or does it really depend on the job they do and the clients they're working on and things like that?
I think it is starting to change what they do on a day-to-day basis. The reality is that as part of our approach to responsible generative AI usage, we have to be really careful about how we're applying these outputs to client work. We're using this to make decisions about how clients should spend millions and millions of dollars, and so we want to make sure that that is really well thought out. And so it's starting to make inroads, but on a day-to-day basis today, we're seeing small improvements. We are expecting large improvements, but we do want to be cautious, and we want to make sure clients are really comfortable with this application of generative AI and that nobody's following it blindly.
On that note, I imagine there's a lot of fear or anxiety depending on what you do. Like, how do you bring brands past that, or even your internal teams who are worried about, oh, what does this mean for my job?
Mm-hmm. Well, two things. On the one side, how do we bring clients through this is, I think by taking them through our responsible generative AI approach, letting them know all of the things that we have done to make sure that we are applying this smartly. We are also very transparent with clients when generative AI has been applied, so that they can have that conversation with us. And then in terms of our employees, concerned that maybe their jobs aren't going to be here. The way we talk about it is that generative AI is going to help kind of free up some of the mundane tasks. that people, every job has some things that are a little mundane and can be automated. And that's going to free up people's time to be more creative, more strategic thinkers, more innovative in what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. We do not see this as taking anything away from our employees, but rather freeing them up to do the work they want to be doing.
Lastly, how do you think this manifests itself for consumers in the next year? There's a lot of thought that the web's going to look entirely different and be navigated entirely differently. Do you think that's in the near future?
Well, I can say that many of our partners are, and big partners like Google, are absolutely reinventing like the search experience, and others. I mean, we've already seen Bing. You probably get it on your phone. Like, would you like the Bing admin kind of experience? But whether it's going to completely revolutionize everything we do, I think it's going to be a rotation, not really a revolution. I think from a consumer perspective, what I always caution is to try to engage with this kind of technology with intent and understand what you're getting into. Just like I would advise people to read the fine print, not just accept all cookies, but really understand what's happening with your data. I would say the same thing about generative AI, and to be intentional about how you apply it to your day-to-day life.